Hey guys, I'm gonna make a video to talk about some of the games I've bought in the last, how long would that be? A little over a month, so January and a little bit of February. Um, some 3DS games you're looking at. I I own most of these, but I went ahead and bought a bunch of them because they were discounted back in January. Um, Target was doing a deal where they were just trying to clear out some of their first party 3DS games. It was a really um, amazing deal because pretty much any Nintendo Select game, or pretty much all of them, except for maybe a few I could think of, were $4.99. So I got these four here: Donkey Kong Country Returns, Luigi's Mansion, Dark Moon, and then the two Ocarina of Times for $4.99. So $20 for all four of those. Um, Now, obviously, I'm not looking to resell these or anything like that. I actually was picking them up for like gifts. Um, my little boy will be 4 next Christmas, so I was looking at it as an opportunity to buy some gifts for him that if I get him a 2DS, he's not going to know how old these games are, especially since Nintendo games hold up really well. Doesn't matter if it's 2011 or 2019. He's gonna enjoy them. He has been liking video games, but I think he just likes me. He likes watching me play. I only play real basic stuff on the NES Classic and the Super Nintendo Classic, just simple stuff. But he does know a lot of the Nintendo characters, so these would be good gifts for him. Maybe like separate them as the years go by. But I did also pick up these 3 games too. So they weren't $4.99, but they were discounted. Mario Kart and Super Mario Brothers 2, the new Super Mario Brothers 2, both of them were $15.99 or $14.99. So $30 for both is a really good deal. And then Luigi's Mansion was $24.99, which I have it on the GameCube, but I haven't played it, or I haven't beaten it probably in almost 15 years. So it was fun. Actually, I have all these games that I bought like around November, December, and it's like when I saw that this came down in price, I just bought it and then like played it and then just consistently played it and beat it, just because I liked it a lot originally, and it was just a game that I wanted to re-experience. But a lot of fun, still holds up, and worked really well on the 2DS that I have. But anyway, so this one was mine, but the other pretty much 6 here are going to be gifts. I might even end up just holding on to Ocarina of Time, and since for $4.99, I don't know what I might just keep it sealed, just one copy, just because that's still one of my favorite games. This is my cat, Isabel. She's probably gonna keep coming in and out of what I'm doing here. Sorry for me moving around. See, these are some Switch games that I got in the last month and a half. I don't really remember in what order I bought them, but The Binding of Isaac, Axiom Verge, the Battle Princess Madeline was an Asian only version of that, but it does have English text and everything. I played that a little bit, but I was a little disappointed in that it doesn't play what I was hoping it to be like. It's one of those games where like you can move out of a zone and you clear the zone and you come right back to it, and it just respawns every enemy that had been there before. So it's just like really repetitive, and it's like just a very big. You just feel like you're not really progressing very well because you're just constantly fighting through the same enemies over and over and over again. Plus, I think with what I played, it was easy to get lost. But the one game that I have played a lot of time, put a lot of time in, is Golf Story, and I got this from Best Buy. I originally was thinking about buying it from Limited Run, but I'm kind of glad I waited. Not because this was on sale or anything like that, but I did save on shipping and taxes by just buying it from Best Buy. But really good game. Kind of reminds me of playing like a Super Nintendo game, but it's a golf game, and it's kind of like it's its own unique style. It's hard to explain, but it's a really good game. The other two games I played a little bit, but actually Burgess is like the third time I bought that game. But I just wanted it for the Switch to play just when I have time, usually like in bed and stuff like that. Picked up Metal Slug Anthologies. This was this is going after those corners. This is a Amazon purchase. It was brand new, and I think it was like maybe in the $15 range. But really good compilation game. It comes with like I think seven Metal Slug games, and there was one night I came home from work and I was able to play. I went through one of the Metal Slug games, probably just the first one. But I don't think it has a save feature where you can jump right back in. I think it only records your scores up to a certain point, and then if you stop, then you have to start over. I could be wrong, but that's what happened to me, I think, when I tried to go back to where I had left off, and it just made me start back over again. Kind of like playing on an arcade. But anyway, a couple PlayStation 4 games I got. Yakuza 0. Haven't played that yet, but I don't have a whole lot of experience with the Yakuza games, but I do know that would be a good place to start with. Will you stop there? This Valkyrian arc, the Hero School Story, is like kind of like a dungeon crawler RPG. I tried playing this for a little bit, and it's very generic. What are you biting? Yeah, she is. Very generic little game, but it wasn't that expensive. Knights of Azure 2 is an action RPG, and I do have the first one, but I never really got far into it. I think these games, a few of these, actually these three here, Ni no Kuni, Knights of Azure, and Yakuza 0 were all buy two get one GameStop deals, so I was just kind of looking for games that I would play at some point. So Ni no Kuni 2 and Knights of Azure 2 and Yakuza 0 were all around the same price, just went ahead and just got them. The one game I put the most time in the last like 2 weeks that I picked up brand new. I don't normally buy games for $60, but with this scenario, I had there's a game store that I traded in. I traded in an old Nintendo 64 that I just had sitting in the box that I think I had owned it for almost like 7-8 years, and I never even opened it up the entire time I owned it. It just sat in the box and I never did anything with it. So I got trade credit from this game store, and the game store, like, I just let 3 or 4 months go by after I had traded that in. So every time I went to the game store, I could just never find anything at that store. And so I was getting worried about, because like they just never got any good inventory in. They always had some of the same stuff there every time I try to go and check things out. And so I just like called them up, and in January to see if they would have copies of this, and they said they did. So I just decided to use the money that I did have in credit for a copy of this. So I do have some money left over, about $30 or $40. I might get another new game, maybe sometime the rest of this year. I'm not sure, but anyway, Resident Evil 2, I just beat it actually tonight. It took me a total of 8 hours to beat, and I've probably beat the original probably about 3 times. And I've always loved that version. I have that version on Nintendo 64. I have 2 copies of it on my PlayStation 1 collection. I don't have it for Dreamcast and I don't have it for GameCube, but I do recognize its greatness, and this is a very superb, updated reimagining of the game. It's not a remaster, because it's not like just like a fresh new coat of paint. But it at first I was like hesitant to like allow it to be enjoyable, because I was just like constantly comparing it to the original. But I think what's best as far as an experience is just to just accept it for what it is. It's a newer version of a classic game, and it's a very good game. I mean, I don't know if it will continue to get the talk of like a game of the year, but regardless if that is the case or not, it is still going to be a game that people talk about probably a decade from now, even 20 years from now, easily, because that's how long, you know, we waited for the original. 20 years have gone by, and people still talk really highly about that. I remember when I did pick this up, the kid that was there, man in the store, was he had no like connection to the original, because he looked like he might have been like maybe 19, 20 years old, and he said about like how his first Resident Evil game was like Resident Evil 5 or 6 or something like that, and he's like, he didn't really know what the big deal was with this game. And it's like most people rank this as being like their favorite in the series, and it's nice that a younger audience, a younger generation, can experience it this way. And I just would hope that if you do play this game and you load up the beginning parts of the game, you see that they did make an engine for this game. So like, it would be really nice if Capcom would be able to let us know that they're continuing to do more Resident Evils, either very similar as far as like doing like Resident Evil 3, or just doing more Resident Evil games similar to what we have here, which would be phenomenal. I mean, hopefully if Capcom does make a lot of money off of this, they would recognize that people do want this game, this type back, even if it doesn't have fixed cameras. But I don't know. I'm hoping that like this is the resurging factor, and not. I wasn't real wild about Resident Evil 7. I don't know why. I just couldn't get into it. But anyway, I got 2 more things. This is really awesome. Today I went to a Walmart that had these on clearance, and they were marked for $25. So they literally are trying to phase them out, and they're getting down there. But I mean, I know that with what I've read, majority of stores still have them for about that $50-some range price tag. It's just that this particular Walmart, I was doing research, and they had copies of, or they had boxes of these for sale at the $25 range. They had probably like 18 of them, but like I ended up just, like, I was only going to get one, but it's like they literally had them all just stacked on a table, and it's like literally like sitting side by side with other like literally stuff that like couldn't sell for like years. So it's like, I know that people would probably buy them for $25, but what I probably will do is keep one at my work and keep one at home. During my lunch breaks, I can probably play it in the coming years, and play some RPGs that I've never ever successfully beat. If you don't know anything about like the current status of these systems, you pretty much can do plug and update with USB flash drives, as long as they're like no larger than like 64 gigs. Just because there's not enough power flowing through these things to do anything bigger than that. I have a few 32 and 16 gig flash drives, so what I may end up doing is just trying to work on those to have ROMs on those flash drives, and then just have like a flash drive dedicated to shooters, flash drive dedicated for like platformers, and just like maybe like an iconic lineup of games. But it would be cool to just, the reason I'm glad I bought two of them, so that like I don't have to keep saying like, okay, I'll bring this to my work for like 1 or 2 lunch breaks, and then I'll take it home for $25. It was an awesome deal to just get a second one. At first I thought maybe I could use it as a gift for somebody, but I have very few people that I know that are into old stuff like this, even though this is new. But anyway, to have 2 of these for the going price is pretty awesome. But anyway, let me know what you think. It's still early enough, so I might play something else now that I finished this earlier and my kids are asleep. So yeah, later.